Alright, so today I'll be taking a look at the Transformers Hunt for the Decepticons Terradive. In all honesty, I don't know anything about this figure. I was given it as a present for Christmas, but I really had no interest, so I've seen no reviews on it or seen no pictures, so it was a pleasant surprise, and I'll tell you right now, I ended up liking this figure quite a lot and kind of wish I knew about him sooner. So let's start with this alt mode. He is this jet. I like this design of this jet. Very different than your classic Seeker mold. I like how the front wings go forward and down, and the back ones go tilt upwards. It's this cool design. I don't know what it's actually based off of. The two jets in the back look very cool as well, and I love the colors. And even though he doesn't have that many colors, that many paint apps, they've been applied in such a way that it looks very complete. I also like how all the panel breaks on this figure are on the black sections, like right here. There's the panel break here, so they don't really stand out as much as they do as they would show on other Transformers. The underside, I was afraid he was going to be like the rest of Seekers and just be basically a robot with a jet on the back. This one was surprisingly different, and I didn't know what to expect when I transformed him. So you can see his weapon here. It is a sort of spear thing, and when you take it off, again, you see some parts of the robot, but you can't really tell what it's going to be. So let's just transform him and get down to it. So first thing, you just take in the landing gear, and then, oops, sorry about that. You just pull this nose up, and just like that, you want to separate these, and pull that upwards, and just make it so that this still faces a little bit forward, so you could push this up, and then when it's past a certain area, you can pull it down all the way. To finish off his, I guess you could call these his legs, you just want to first kick out each of the feet with the heel. And then for this part, I believe the transformation goes like this. Just like that on each side. And so he got his legs. What's next? Oh, the top part is you would like to turn this around. These come in, they fold in just like this. And I don't know what to do here. Oh, you just split these, open them up, and then you can just pull his head down. This whole section turns upwards. Split those out. And then there's a little notch here that pegs into a hole there. There we go. And then these kind of connect up like that, just in those little slots. For some reason this side doesn't want to stay in all the time, so I kind of have to bend this extra to keep it there. For the last part is his hands, and all you got to do is open those and switch out the thrusters for the hands. Oh. And you are done. And that is Terradive in his robot mode. And you can see he's a very interesting figure. Unlike most Seekers, like I said, his back isn't a robot with a jet on the back, so his transformation is actually really, really intricate, and then you end up with this cool looking figure. His weapon is probably the last part you got to transform, and what you do is you extend this, or not extend, just open it up, and then here, pull it down to create the trident. And he can hold it, dual wield it obviously, and he has this thing here where you can just sort of clip it on. I think it looks weird there, but I don't know. But let's talk about this figure. We'll start here up at the head, and it's an interesting looking head. He looks very evil, very much like a Decepticon, and there's no light piping on this guy. It's just red eyes. The shape is rather interesting. He kind of looks like I forget, but it's that dinosaur that they just keep, the dinosaur that they ram heads together. That's what it kind of reminds me of, with a weird mouth thing going on. I don't really understand it. But especially when he's holding this trident, he looks like he's the king of the seas or something. And it's really awkward in comparison to his jet mode. So to me, his robot mode and his alt mode don't really fit well together. It's kind of a throw off. I don't really know. I like how this guy, his chest piece, it's his nose cone and the side wings kind of fold together to create that huge chest piece. It looks very cool. Overall, he looks like he belongs in the movie line of toys, but I believe it's been noted by Hasbro that he's not part of the movie line of toys. Weird, but I mean, I don't know. Overall, colors are nice. Articulation is everything that you would expect a recent Transformer to have. The only thing he doesn't have is the waist joint, but he has everything else you'd expect: the ankle, the knee joint with the swivel on, and hips on a ball joint, and all this jazz up here too as well. So you can get really dramatic poses out of him. Very cool. Now, to tell you the truth, I don't know if I like him though. Technically, from a toy standpoint and an engineering aspect, yes, he's quite amazing. Thus far, as he's probably the best sort of jet seeker transformer that I own. But, and this is gonna sound weird, he lacks that sort of extra X factor. He lacks personality. I know it sounds weird for me to say a toy, an inanimate object, lacks personality, but for me, he doesn't really showcase anything. To give an example, here is the Battle in Space Rodimus with them, and to be honest, as a toy, Rodimus sucks. His transformation, not very intricate. Articulation on the toy really is terrible. That blue flame thing, I mean, he really sucks as a toy, but he has a whole bunch of personality. He encaptures the spirit of what a Rodimus should be. Terradive, I don't really know too much about the actual character, but the toy itself just doesn't really say anything to me. He just looks like a drone, if anything. He doesn't look like any special Decepticon, he just looks like a drone. And that's probably the biggest criticism I have on the figure. So, in terms of recommendations, you know what? I would say definitely go pick up Terradive. He's a very good figure, and very good transformation, very well designed in terms of his vehicle mode and his robot mode. But for me personally, he's not a toy that I'm going to, or a figure that I'm going to really fall in love with as a character. Again, it's sort of a weird conclusion, but that's how I really feel about it. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.